Okay, so I'm gonna do a spoiler and or recap of the movie Mother, starring the wonderful, what's her name? No, for real. Her name's Jennifer Lawrence. She's gorgeous in the movie. Her hair's like freaking a flowing goddess, and it's excellent. And then the other guy who's married to Penelope Cruz stars opposite of her. Then we see all kinds of wonderful cameos. Really, the only important one for me to mention is that Michelle Pfeiffer is in this movie. Anyway, we open up with seeing a house in ashes, right? The walls are all black. Looks like the house has been on fire. And then you see this like diamond kind of looking thing, and it's being placed on something. And then as that happens, whole house just sort of like rebuilds itself. Beautiful, brand new, fresh, painted. Then it pans to a scene, and you see a woman's figure laying in the bed. She done pops her head up, and guess who it is? You guessed, J-Law. She's waking up. She's getting ready for her day. Now, she's not wearing a bra, and it's very apparent. So if you're looking to catch a peek at her boobies, but through a shirt, this is definitely your scene. And she's going, baby? We have yet to find out who the baby is. She gets up. She's wandering around the house. She's all like, makes you wonder, like, who are you looking for? Finally, she turns around and Penelope Cruz's husband, there he is, he's standing right behind her. Sort of a foreshadow of, ooh, shit, this guy's gonna spook you. So it's like slow, there's minimal talking, barely any lines, and you're just like kind of getting a very strange vibe from the whole thing. It's super weird, it's super quiet, it's odd, you can tell that their relationship is like in the shitter. For some reason, you just know that right off the bat. Then all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. Knock on the door, someone's there. He goes, don't worry, I'll get it. Because he's got a little accent. He opens the door and he's talking to this dude. She like goes to see who it is because she just like made dinner or something like that. And he's like telling the guy as she goes to see him, come in. Sits the guy down in the other room. And the guy goes, oh, well, I was told that this was a bed and breakfast. And, I wanted to stay the night here. The husband goes, oh no, we're not a bed and breakfast, but please spend the night. Pans to J-Law's face and she's all, what? Because he didn't even ask her. She goes in the next room to make the guy some tea and she's like to the husband, what the fuck? We don't know this guy, basically. And the husband goes, what are we supposed to do? Turn him away? I mean, I'm at that point like, motherfucker, yes, turn him away. You don't know him. But she goes, you're right, honey. Okay. Very strange. The whole time you're like, this is really weird. The guy spends the night. She goes upstairs and the husband's like, oh, we're just going to have a drink. They're like having a drink and I'll be up in a few minutes. She wakes up and she comes downstairs and she like goes in the guy's room because she hears something. The guy's like has this weird cough too. He's just the whole time as he's like chain smoking, which she tells him, don't smoke in my house. She catches him smoking in the house a whole bunch of times, by the way. But anyway, she goes to the bathroom in like the guest bedroom that she kind of like, I don't know, made up for him. Also, before she made up the guest bedroom for him, she goes in the basement to get him linens, and you just like get the creepiest vibe from the basement. You're like, something's going on with this basement. But anyway, back to the bathroom. The guy's like vomiting his guts up, like throwing up everywhere. Got a huge gash on his back. The husband goes, go away, I'll meet you upstairs. Then all of a sudden it cuts to her getting up in the morning. That motherfucker never came upstairs. And the dude is just like walking around totally fine. So she's all, how are you feeling? And he goes, what? As if she didn't just catch him throwing up several hours before. But anyway, all of a sudden, then again you hear, boom, 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 knock at the door. Who on earth could this be now? And Jennifer Lawrence looks at the husband and goes, I'll get it. She runs to the door, races to the door to answer it. Swings that bitch open, and guess who it is? It's that bitch Michelle Pfeiffer. And she's like being very bitchy to Jennifer Lawrence, who's like, who are you? And she looks at the man who stayed the night before. The guy comes out, and they just start like grossly making out with each other. You're like, what the hell is going on here? Turns out it's his wife, and she's like, he told her to come spend the night. Jennifer Lawrence again pulls the husband out. I don't want these people to stay here. This is very weird. The husband goes, what are we supposed to do? We supposed to kick them out? Again, she goes, okay, honey. Very strange. But Michelle Pfeiffer walks in the kitchen. She notices that Jennifer Lawrence is cooking breakfast and goes, "Here, let me help you." Grabs this skillet that she just watched Jennifer Lawrence like burn her hand on, and Michelle Pfeiffer burns her hand. And then she like gets all bitchy about it. And it's like, you just saw Jennifer Lawrence burn her hands on it. It's your fault, Michelle Pfeiffer. Anyway, cut to a few moments later. And it's like the two guys, the husbands, they go out for a nature walk. They're going to go for a walk. And Michelle Pfeiffer's like, "Oh, we're going to stay back. I have to do laundry." Looks at her and goes, "You'll show me how, right?" Very assuming. Turns me off immediately. But Jennifer Lawrence, being sweet and an excellent hostess, yeah, I'll show you, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, throughout this whole time, too, Jennifer Lawrence gets these weird, like, visions inside of her head. And every time she touches the house, she, like, sees this little pulsing thing inside of her head. And it's just, like, slowly turning black. And as it's slowly turning black, she's like, and she runs to the bathroom and she takes this, like, powder shit and puts it in a glass, tosses that shit back, and then you just don't know what happens after that. But that keeps happening, and we don't really know what it is. As the viewer, we're like, what's going on? Anyway, these bitches start doing laundry, and Michelle Pfeiffer starts, like, probing J-Law with questions. "Oh, well, how long have you been together?" And she's like, because you find out that Jennifer Lawrence purchased this house that was burnt down in her husband's childhood and is restoring it by hand for him. Michelle Pfeiffer's, "Why don't you just buy a new house?" And she's like, "Because I love him." And the whole time, like, Michelle Pfeiffer's just being a super bitch about the whole thing. And, like, just leave her alone. She's trying to be really nice. And she tells her, like, "Just have kids. It's easier." And then Jennifer Lawrence doesn't say anything. So Michelle Pfeiffer turns around and goes, "I get it. He's not having sex with you." And it's like becoming a whole thing about their sex life. Jennifer Lawrence is getting super uncomfortable. They go downstairs to start doing the laundry, and Michelle Pfeiffer just fucking starts pulling J-Law's laundry out of the washing machine and putting it on the floor. Super rude. And she starts putting her laundry in. She takes these pairs of these little underwears that are like vibrant, vibrant yellow. Spice it up, because she pulled Jennifer Lawrence's underwear out and goes, "This is why you're not having sex," because her underwear were like basic. It was just so rude, and Jennifer Lawrence is like, like all over the place, very upset, very besides herself. Then she goes upstairs, and she also finds a lighter in the guy's room, and the guy's been smoking in her house, and she's been telling him not to. So she takes the lighter and like tosses it away somewhere. We don't see really where it goes, just as she did with the underwear. Jennifer Lawrence also keeps telling them not to go into her husband's office. Now, apparently the husband is some sort of famous writer. We're guessing a poet. They don't really reveal it. But Jennifer Lawrence keeps walking in and out of the room to like do laundry for them and stuff. She keeps tripping over this bag that the dude left on the floor. And finally she's like, "What's in this bag?" Because how many times can you trip on it without looking at it? It's like calling you to look at it. She notices that there's a picture of her husband in the bag. Us as the viewer is going, this is some shit. We knew something was up with these people. So the people come back from their walk. The guy's like, blah, 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 coughing up a storm, smoker, So she, the woman, takes him to the bedroom to go lay down or whatever. Lawrence goes to the husband. "There's something up with these people. They have a picture of you in their bag. Something is weird with them." The guy goes, "I know, he's a fan. He found our house and he's dying." Oh, now she feels bad. "Oh no, I didn't know they were dying. Is he okay?" All of a sudden now, we hear footsteps upstairs and you're like, what's going on? These motherfuckers are in the office and you hear shattering glass. Now, what we found out a few scenes earlier was that the little diamond thing that you see in the beginning of the movie was the only thing that he was able to salvage from the house that burnt down when he was a child. Very special to him, very meaningful. These motherfuckers went in his office without asking him and dropped it all over the floor. He starts screaming. They go out of the room and they go downstairs into their bed. Jennifer Lawrence is like all upset, like, oh my God, what do you need me to do? The guy's just like, leave me alone. She keeps peeking in on him and he's like squeezing the glass in his hand. There's blood and J-Lo's all, oh my God. But anyway, she's gonna go downstairs. She's gonna kick him out. She tells these people, knocks on their door, "I'm gonna need you to leave because you broke my husband's shit and he's super upset." And Michelle Pfeiffer's all, "We are not going anywhere. I need to go care for my husband." And she like closes the door over on J-Law. J-Law, very confused, just walks away all in a huff. Walks back past the room. These two bitches are just fucking on the edge of the bed, having sex. It's super weird. And then we hear at the door again, boom, 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 boom. Who on earth could this be now? Some dude is at the door, and it's like the people's son. Like, he just comes out of nowhere because they have 2 boys, apparently. And he's all to J-Law. Nice view. And, like, she's like, who are you? He's all, who are you? And she's like, this is my house. The parents come out, and they're like, oh, like, what are you doing here? The guy's like, he's on his way. He's really upset. You, the viewer, is going, who's really upset? Oh, my God. A few minutes later, boom, burst through the door. It's like another guy, and it's their other son. The 2 sons start arguing. While this is all happening, her husband upstairs starts banging wood over the office door. Very upset with the office, doesn't want to see the office, starts boarding that shit up. J-Law's all, what is happening? The 2 sons start fighting a lot, and they start to, like, destroy this beautiful house that she just restored and worked so hard on. J-Law's going, stop it! Stop! Nobody's helping her. She's just kind of like following them around. She follows them into the guest room because they got into a whole tussle, and that's where they're going. Apparently the father's leaving one of the sons more money than the other in the will because he's dying. And the son that was like crazy and mad comes with like the doorknob. Boom, boom, boom. Bashes the other son over the head, and he's like dead. So he gets up and he like runs away. They all come in, Michelle Pfeiffer, the husband, and the other husband, and they're, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. The 3 of them pick him up and start walking out the door. J-Law's going to the husband after she just witnessed this horrific murder with blood all over her face. Please don't leave me here. Please don't leave me. And he goes, I have to go with them. You stay here. Lock the doors. J-Law listens. She stays behind. She locks the doors. She's terrified. She changes her clothes. She starts wiping all the blood off of the floor that the guy was just like totally murdered in. She gets most of the stain out, but there's this one little blood stain, and every time she pokes at it, it's like going through the floor. It's really strange. She realizes that it's dripping into the basement, that creepy basement that we had vibes about in the beginning. We knew some shit was about to happen down there. She goes down there and realizes that the blood is like all over this light, and the light just explodes. You're weirded out. You don't know what happened. But then she sees that this like the wall is the same as that floor was, and it's like pushing in. So she starts to touch it with her hand. She finds a door. She opens the door, and you just see all of like these steel things, and you don't really know what they're for. She doesn't even know what they're for. Anyway, it cuts back up. She goes upstairs. She's all cleaned up. She's done with the room. She just pulled a rug over the blood stain. She's gonna fix it tomorrow. She looks at the back door. It's open. Panic sets over the viewer. You go, holy fuck, this crazy dude that just murdered his brother is in her house. Sure enough, boom, she turns around, he's right in her face. He goes, I forgot something. He like forgot his wallet, and he gets it, and he just like walks away. She notices that the picture of her husband now is like on the floor, and it's drawn like he's the devil almost. It's really weird. And the guy turns to her and goes, she's like, what do you want? And he turns to her and is like, you don't know what's going on here? And she's just all confused, like, and he goes, good luck. And he leaves. That's it. He just leaves. Now, we're stuck here like, well, what is going on here? And then as she's like panicking and like, ah, because he just left, boom, husband shows up again. And she's like, I came back. He's like, it's going to be okay. But I have sad news. He has died. The son is dead. Jennifer Lawrence is like, that's horrible. And he's like, yes, let's go upstairs. Let's go to bed. They're laying in bed. It's the middle of the night, and you hear boom, 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 boom. What the fuck, right? He gets up. He starts putting his clothes on. She's in her PJ. She's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I invite them back to the house. They want to have a couple of people to celebrate the death of the son, or like, you know, the life of the son, whatever bullshit. She's all, you invited them back? Like, all upset. Rightfully so. And he doesn't even answer her or acknowledge her. He just fucking goes downstairs. Now you're getting annoyed with the husband. You're like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? Something is up. So she goes downstairs, and there's just like all of these people coming into the house. Michelle Pfeiffer looks up and makes eye contact with Jennifer Lawrence, and is just like, and you're like, bitch, what? J-Lo comes downstairs and goes to Michelle Pfeiffer, you know, I'm just so sorry for your loss. I can't even imagine. And she's like, no, you can't imagine because you don't have children. And can't you put something decent on? J-Lo looks down. She's in her PJs. Like, she just fucking woke up. This bitch listens and goes upstairs and puts a dress on. She comes downstairs, and there's more people in the house. It's insane. They're all giving speeches, and like the husband's giving his speech and like saying all this shit. J-Lo's all weirded out, and then they turn to her and they go, say something. And she's like, what the fuck? Like, what do you want me to say? And she barely says anything, and she goes to the kitchen. She keeps seeing these fucking people. They're sitting on her sink in the kitchen. She's still redoing the kitchen. She hasn't braced the sink yet. She goes, please don't sit on the sink. I haven't braced it. They go, okay. They get down. But then they get right back up when she turns around, and she keeps finding them. She keeps telling them, please get off the sink. I didn't brace it. Okay. They get down. She turns around. They go right back up again. She's getting frustrated because there's people all over the place just like being super ignorant, breaking her shit, like just disregarding everything that is hers altogether. Again, she turns around to the people and goes, get off the sink, yelling at them now. And they're like, you don't have to be a cunt about it. It's fine, see? And start bouncing on the fucking sink. Boom! Sink breaks. Faucet goes everywhere. There's water everywhere. J-Lo goes, get out! They all leave. They thank the husband for his hospitality. They were super grateful about that. Then she starts yelling at the husband. What's wrong with you? Why do you keep letting these people in our house? Like, blah. And he's all, what do you want me to do? Turn them away? Just starts, yelling and shit at him. And he's all like, I can't write. There's no life in this house. I'm bored. You're getting to the root cause of their marriage now, right? So she goes, well, my life didn't turn out exactly how I wanted to either. He goes, what is that supposed to mean? She goes, I can't even get you to fuck me. Oh, shit. That done set that motherfucker off. He pushes her against the wall and starts, like, touching her boobs, her ass, like, trying to make out with her. She's all, stop. Then this bitch gives in and starts fiercely making out with him back. They start banging on the stairs. They go upstairs. They have sex. All of a sudden, it pans to them. Now it's morning time. J-Lo is just opening her eyes for the day. And she opens them and goes, I'm pregnant. We're like, how the fuck are you supposed to know that right now? She turns to the husband. She's all, I'm pregnant. And he's like, you are? Like, they just both believe that she's pregnant now. Fast forward, it's like 8 months later. And she's like super pregnant. She's like super pregnant. And he like has been writing. He got into a whole string of being able to write now after the whole death happened in his house and she was pregnant and all of that. I finished it. I finished my writing. She sits on the steps. She starts reading it. Tears streaming down her face. It's perfect. He's all happy. She's all happy. You're like, oh my God, good for them. They really patched it up. Now it fast forwards to night. She's in a beautiful gown, gorgeous hair, gorgeous makeup. She looks stunning. She prepared this beautiful feast for her and her husband to eat and just celebrate that she's pregnant. He's got his book or his poems or whatever, and they're just going to live a happily ever after. He comes in. He's all, oh my God, great. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. Knock at the door. We can't take it anymore as the viewer. We're going, what on earth? Okay, can't these people just be happy? He goes outside and he's out there for a while. He doesn't come back. So she goes to check on him. These people just like at the stoop, just like, oh my God, like sign autographs and blah, 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 blah. He turns to her, keep the food warm. I'll be in a few minutes. I just want to say hello. Because they all love his writing so much. So she goes, okay. She's in there. She's waiting. She goes back out and it's a large crowd of people. And all of a sudden, she turns back in the house and there's people in the house eating her bread, taking the food. All of a sudden, it like erupts into this huge party. All these people in the house, they start. Everything's going everywhere. She finds him and she just goes, why can't I just be enough for you? Because he hasn't given her the time of day. This whole movie, he's giving these other people all of his attention. And she's telling, like, please spend time with me. I'm your pregnant wife. I'm about to have our baby. And he's just, I need to be with the people. They want to meet me. The publisher comes in. She's all, the muse. Publisher's Kristen Wiig, by the way. Awesome cameo. And it's just like super weird. He's like signing autographs. There's people everywhere. They're breaking shit. They're pinning his picture to the wall. But they're being really mean to her. Like, it's just really fucking weird. It's just, the whole situation is awful. She starts getting pissed because they're literally destroying the house. Taking down walls, breaking shit, stealing shit, taking the phone out of her hand while she's calling 911 so that they can use the phone. They're just, it's an absolute madhouse. They just start like worshiping him, and she's in danger. She's trying to get out of the house because there's so many people and it's such a wild party, and you're just like, what the fuck is going on? And she just keeps trying to get out, and they keep pushing her back in. She just can't get out of the house. All of a sudden, she's going into labor. Oh my God, what is she supposed to do? All of a sudden, too, boom! Doors break in. There's like cops or SWAT, or you don't know what the fuck it is. An army? I don't know. They just start killing people. People just start killing each other. There's blood everywhere. There's ashes everywhere. The whole thing is just going awry. All this time she's in labor. She finds the husband finally after all of the chaos that he's giving all of his attention to these weird fucking people that are destroying their house instead of her. She's like, I'm in labor. He goes, the baby. It's like, yeah, bitch, the baby. So he's able to get her up and isolate her into the bedroom. She delivers, not into the bedroom, into the office. He rips the boards off of the office. He goes, like, there's this little grouping of people up there, and he tells her, don't worry, they keep us safe. Because there's so much murder. You don't know who's good, who's bad. You don't know what's going on. They lock themselves in the office. They board it up from the inside, and she delivers the baby. Beautiful little boy, super happy. He's all like, I want him to hold the baby. And she doesn't let him. She goes, no, you will not hold this baby. She knows something's wrong. She doesn't know what's wrong, but as her motherly intuition, she knows some shit is up, and she's not about to have it. She stays up for days holding the baby. It just keeps panning day and night, day and night. You don't really know how long they've been in there. All the while, the people are outside, and she keeps telling the husband, please make them go. Please make them go. Our baby. Isn't this enough? He goes, no, they need to stay. Super weird. Finally, she can't help it anymore. She dozes off. For like a split second, she opens her eyes and the baby's gone. She looks out on the steps and the husband is raising the baby up in front of all of the people. They're all cheering. Then he starts passing the baby down. It starts going down into all the sea of people. And she's like, my baby! Starts following the baby through the crowd, pushing people, knocking people over. She's watching the baby. You see the baby all the while like crowd surf. All of a sudden, baby's neck broken. She's like, she pushes her way all the way up to the front where the baby is. They're eating the baby. They ripped the baby apart and they're all eating little pieces of the baby. Now you as the viewer are, what the fuck is happening? You're just totally, your mind is blown at this point. She has had it. She slams her fist on the floor. She's, the whole house, the floor like splits open and she's going, the husband comes to her and goes, we must forgive them. We must forgive them. We have to forgive them. They're my fans. And she's like, they killed our baby. Ah! The bitch is pissed. I'd be fucking pissed too. Like, are you kidding me? You just murdered my child and you're telling me to forgive these people? No way. J-Law, she just has had it. She's done. She's gonna get these people out of her house one way or another. She doesn't care how it's gonna happen. Of her eye. That lighter that she tossed away when the guy was smoking in her house all those months ago. Then she runs down to the basement. She goes into where all those metal things were that we see. She slices it and there's oil pouring out. You go, oh fuck, it's an oil drum. And she's holding the lighter and she clicks it. And he goes, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. And she goes, I just don't understand why it couldn't have been enough. She drops it in the oil. Pew, the whole house goes up. Everything's engulfed in flames. Now you see her and she's just tear streaming, burning. And we don't know what happened to the other people at this point. We're assuming they burned alive. The whole house is all burned up. But he's holding her and she's still alive and he looks perfect, like unscalded, untouched. She's looking at him at this point like, who are you? What are you? And he's just smiling. He's not answering her. He won't answer her. We don't know why. And he lays her down over the office desk. And she says to him again, why couldn't I have been enough? And he goes, don't you see? It's never enough. If it were enough, I would not be able to write. And he says to her again, you still have love for me, don't you? And she goes, yes, I do. After all this bitch still loves the motherfucker. And she goes, I have nothing left to give you. And he goes, can I have your love? And she says, take it. This motherfucker reaches his hand through her heart, pulls out that gross black pulsing thing that we've been seeing throughout the whole movie. She's dead now. She disintegrates into ash. We don't see her no more. And then he starts peeling back. And what do we see? that beautiful little diamond from the beginning of the movie. He sets it up on the little prong holder that he had, and whoosh, the whole house is beautiful again. It's rebuilt. It's gorgeous. It's just like the beginning of the film. And it pans to the bedroom. You see the figure of a woman, and her head pops up. It's different. It's not J-Law. And she goes, "Baby?" Black screen. That's it. Done. That's the whole movie. And you know what? Did I like it? Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was really good. I thought that the ending was super surprising. I did not see it coming that way. But, like, throughout the whole, it's a 2-hour movie. Throughout the whole, like, build-up parts, you're just so frustrated as the viewer. Like, why the fuck aren't you doing anything? Like, shit, leave, do something. And you realize that he's, like, must be a devil or some kind of demon. And he just creates this same scenario over and over and over again for himself to steal the love of women. So we don't even know if she knew how she got there. Just like this other woman probably doesn't know how she got there, which is why she was all confused in the beginning. And we're confused. Would I watch it again? No, I know what the surprise is at the end. I don't need to watch it, but it was good. And if we're going to rate it on Mel's 10 out of 10, I'd say it's a positive 8. Thank you for watching my review. I hope you liked it. If you're pissed because I spoiled, you're stupid. I told you in the beginning I was going to spoil it. Thank you for watching and have an excellent day. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button, hit subscribe, and keep those notifications on so you know when I'm posting the next review. Comment below any other movies or shows or anything that you'd like for me to watch and review, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!